Good evening, this is Just a Human, and welcome to this AI-only Battle Royale in Medieval 2 Total War. And today we have the third and final of our semi-finals in this all-infantry affair. We have a small budget of 3,000 florins. As ever, we have ourselves Portugal, the rebels, and the Papal States here today. We have the Portuguese with their Dismounted Conquistadores and their Portuguese Knights. These could be very interesting indeed. A big chunky defensive lad here, as well as a big chunky, well, choppy lad over there. And that's going to come up against some of the rebel mercenaries, because yes, we've got ourselves the mercenary German Knights, who are effective against armour pretty darn decent, it should be said. But perhaps the most interesting one is the Papal States, who are going to bring in the religious mercenaries. They got the Flagellants, the Fanatics, and then by the Pilgrims, which I don't know, it could go any which way. Do cheer on your favourite faction in the comments below. For now though, I think it's time to head on into battle.
These rebellious knaves and villains are not fit to breathe the same air as we honest men. They must all die before dawn comes again. This is a mercy, because they richly deserve the gallows for turning against their betters. God's wounds! I see that our foes are amply supplied with heavily armored troops. Would that we had some men with firelocks. We may feel their lack. And so let's be about our tasks. I would dine, and battle gives me a powerful appetite. I invite a goodly number of you to join me at table later!
In we head to battle then, and we do have a slightly different battlefield to the speech intro there, because I found we're on a massive hill and that wasn't particularly fair, unfortunately. So instead we're in a little bit more of an even plain here. A few trees dotted around, but realistically nothing too significant. We got the Pilgrims over there. Portuguese, we are standing up on the hill. Let's just get the highlighting off. And looks like the mercenary German Knights are coming on in, and this is probably the best chance for the Papal States to win it, is if these guys just smash straight into each other. So we'll see how this goes. A couple armour-piercing guys here all flying in together. It probably is going to lead the Pilgrims to survive, but whether the Pilgrims can do enough damage to any of these guys is a different matter. So how'd that charge go? 111 to 109, pretty equal it should be said. So more and more coming on in. I imagine, yeah, this is going to be pretty equal, because they're just going to chunk through each other. Maybe the extra attack, the Portuguese guys will help, but it is more of a big chunky two-handed thing. Lots of people very down on the two-handed weapons. I don't think they're that bad in general, to be honest with you. But we shall see how that goes. They're gone at 99 men, potentially, because the Pilgrims are coming in. The terrifying, terrifying Pilgrims. Yeah, so there we go. That's the Portuguese clearing off some of the rebels immediately. Do we have a battle between these guys as well, by the way? We do. It's a bit of a mess down here, actually. I mean, how many kills are the Pilgrims going to make? I mean, they're routing them, so they're going to pick up some of them, and they're going to be quicker, so they'll chase them down if they get the opportunity. Rebels just being shredded. All of them are gone, are they? Wow. That's just a poor showing. That's going to give a really good chance for the Portuguese and the Papal States to just have a good one-on-one here. And importantly, actually, for the Papal States, it gives them a good chance to just mop these guys up, because that's a fair few free points for them. These Pilgrims that we were ignoring, though, have been routed, and I'll be honest, I don't know if these guys can do anything to the Portuguese. We'll see. The Flagellants, though, they've got themselves some little shields, as well as a mace, so they're actually half decent at all of this. It's been interesting to see. 96, 113, I used to on that 95, 87, 86. I mean, there's just so many of these guys to kill. If Portugal hold firm, they've got a slight heal as well. If they hold firm, they'll probably be able to just chunk them down over time, as long as morale holds. But there's an awful lot of these pilgrims and peasants, and they're all coming in from all sorts of angles. Conquistadores. They're going to do, you'd think, some very effective work. 150. They've got so many extra men. It's actually ridiculous. But it's not that many men have died so far. 117. That's about 3 of them down. And they've lost 15. They've lost 5. Okay, not terrible. Not brilliant either. It's a shame the rebels completely went in one go. But the rebels do tend to be a little bit more aggressive than other factions. And yes, these clubs are just not going to do it. I mean, maybe against these guys actually might be the best chance of them, because these are not defensive units. They've not got shields, but they do have a fair bit of defensive skill, I think, don't they? 5, not brilliant. It's more about the armour than the skill, but 5 is not bad for defence skill. Just Fanatics are a little bit simpler than that. They're getting toppled over, but the sheer numbers here is insane. The power buy is very much in Portugal's favour. But yeah, this is a big mess all around. So let's just get ourselves the odd little screenshot as we go. But oh yeah, there's an awful lot of them. Gradually, the Portuguese are getting ground down, at least on this flank here. This one already took some damage, but it's probably where the Papal States have the least men as well. So, could be an interesting one. They're surely just going to chunk through them eventually. 123, 48. It's slow going though with these two-handed weapons. And, I mean, the little daggers here or there are going to hurt them. But 8 defense and 5 defense skill, they're going to, 8 armor even, they're going to hold off fairly well. But some charges like that could be effective, especially if these guys are going to face the wrong way. What are they doing? Oh no, it's chaos. I'm just going to say, let's just keep grabbing some fun screenshots. There's an awful lot of pilgrims there. It's going to take a while to chunk them down. Now, should be said, the general's still back here. He hasn't entered the battle yet. I can see some movement from Portugal now. Here comes a charge and a break. Is that the general coming on in? Indeed it is. He hasn't actually made contact, but he just moved a little bit forward. And they have fallen apart there in that position. Is that going to shake these guys up? It might do, you know. We will see. They're holding on, actually. They broke one unit, but it hasn't broken the rest. They're moving into the next unit. Shaken, wavering. Okay, well, we've seen this before, though. When there's a lot of units like this, they'll just cycle back and come in. Portugal are going to be foolish and chase them down. I don't know. But, yeah, they have got a little bit of routing. Only half of them remain. It's looking very positive for Portugal at this point. Well-timed bit of a charge with some fresh men, but are the rest of them too knackered? I imagine a lot of these Papal States lads are fresher than them. Although, of course, they are professionals, or much more professional. How are we doing on this side, by the way? 68, 32. Yeah, they are getting battered slowly. They were tied at the start. Oh, there's a double route, triple route. That one might have already been going, but that's a lot of routes at once, and that might mop up a lot of them. And that won't be the battle over. Portuguese won't be able to chase them down, but that will be significant. Over this flank is where they will hold for the time being. God knows how the score's going to look. Obviously, the rebels are not going to be in it. They just haven't been involved enough. But 74, these conquistadores are just holding off against 45 units over here. Magnificent stuff. It looks like Portugal are going to have it. Is it going to be enough points, though? That's really the question. Are these guys worth anything to kill? God knows how the point system works. I know someone in the previous comment did say, obviously, you know, killing people will help, killing generals will help. That's very much a good point, but I'm not sure about how many of yours left matters, for example. I don't know how much the captured soldiers count compared to just killing them individually. Really, I don't know all the ins and outs of the mechanics, but it could be that the few kills the pilgrims make are very worthwhile for the points. It might be that sheer numbers, yeah. It might be that these guys aren't actually worth anything to kill. We don't know. We'll find out soon enough. At this point then, we've got the Portuguese standing their ground. The Papal States are coming back in, but they are essentially broken. It's just a real cycle of coming back and forth. But the Portuguese are solid. They're going to hold their ground now. They're not going to have too much issue. The general up there at the front looking an awful lot fresher. He is taking some damage though. That's the Flagellants. They do some damage, but they're going to take it an awful lot quicker. I think that's it. They flee the battle, and I did remember to put the timer on, by the way. So we do have a timer to count down. I also remember to put a score on. So We'll see how the score goes. Oh, that's a lot of peasants on the floor. Portuguese lost a fair few men, but yeah, could be an interesting score when it gets to the end. And they've given defeat to Portugal. Really? Really? Wow, the game is so terrible. How can the points score do this? I'm gonna have to let them have it. I'm gonna have to let them have it. That's hilarious. Okay, well the thing is, Portugal, they battered away the rebels who charged in at both and split up and got themselves killed. But 926 to not win. That's ridiculous. I don't know what more they could have done, but clearly they lost too many. Maybe those 100 odd that they collected in the... Oh, I don't know. You see, this is where the value of the troop is a big question mark. Who knows how it works, but we're going to see the religious fanatics in the final. Absolutely splendid. Thank you for joining me for this air-only affair. God knows how this all works, but yeah, plenty of kills for Portugal. It's not going to be enough, sadly. But we will be having our finale very, very soon indeed, so do look out for that. And do continue to make your suggestions for special lineups in the comments below. You can, of course, support the channel by becoming a member here or on Patreon, like or subscribe, and also by getting involved in that comment section to, you know, express all of the nonsense that is the score system. If anyone actually does understand it, please give me an actual breakdown. But I hope you will join us next time. For now, I will leave you. I'm Nerdstick Gaming. Thank you, friends, and tally-ho. Suffice to say, I could be doing a better job of, you know, not burning down my own city. That's the kind of hit we won. Let it not be said that our Emperor doesn't lead from the very front to hack down the peasants. This is about to go horrendously wrong. It's absolutely fine. It just gives these guys a reminder to maybe aim better next time.